What's going on, YouTube? I got another video for you guys today. I hope you guys are excited. As you can see, I'm back out here at the lake. The past week has been pretty rainy and overcast, so I haven't really gotten the chance to come out here much over the past couple days. But today it's a pretty nice day. So I figured I'd take a little hike on the trail and come out here and make a recap video talking about the Moundsville Pipe Meetup that we had. That was a good bit of fun. Today, I'm going to be smoking out of my Peterson Arclo pipe. This is the first pipe I really splurged on. I got it, I'd say, a month and a half after I started smoking a pipe. The first pipe I ever got was a real small bowl Duke Graybow, and I got that in a big tub of Carter Hall. I think about a month and a half later, me and my dad took a trip to the Havana house just up the road from his house. And I came across this. I really liked the bent stem on it at the time, so I decided I'd go ahead and buy it. I think it was 120 bucks, which was a pretty big purchase for me, just getting into the hobby. But I'm real glad I bought it. I've smoked it plenty of times. It's been about 2 years since I got it. I've smoked it plenty. Probably not as much as most would think for buying a $120 pipe, but it's been a good pipe to me. So down at the pipe meetup, there were two blends that everybody was really raving about, talking about, and that was Cornell and Deal's Autumn Evening, which is their best-selling aromatic blend, and Cornell and Deal's Star of the East Flake. Now, at this pipe meetup, there was a Cornell and Deal representative there, so I think he had quite a bit to do with the fact that these blends were getting talked about quite a bit. But I had never tried either one of them, so with everybody talking about them and everybody talking about how good they were and how much they enjoyed them, I figured I'd go ahead and pick up a tin of both and give them a try. The Autumn Evening, I've smoked 2 or 3 bowls of it now, small bowls. I've been real cautious because my dad told me that I packed a punch, and I don't do too well with large amounts of nicotine, so I've been real cautious on how much I've been smoking it. But I think it's a really good blend. It reminds me a lot of the Saint Espresso Warped that Cornell and Deal does. Personally, I think the Saint Espresso Warped is a bit better, and I'll get into that here on why I think that. The Autumn Evening, the taste of the tobacco itself, Cornell and Deal blends, I think, they have a reputation with the way the tobacco smokes and tastes. I don't necessarily want to call it a harshness, but Cornell and Deal is very, I think if you were to do blind smokes, I'm pretty sure anybody could pick out which one the Cornell and Deal blend is. So the tobaccos are very similar. With them both being aromatics, the topping is what makes me say that the Saint Espresso Warped is a little better. The Autumn Evening, the topping is great. That sweet maple, it smells phenomenal. It tastes pretty good, but I think the topping in the Saint Espresso Warped, that chocolate coffee taste, it's more prominent in the Saint Espresso Warped, so I would have to give the nod to Saint Espresso Warped. But Autumn Evening is a very good blend. I was actually smoking it out in the woods last night, archery hunting. Almost spooked a pretty nice sized buck. Right as I went to go light my pipe, I turned my head to the right and looked, and there was a massive buck sitting there. So wasn't able to get a shot off on it. Never came close enough, but I threw that pipe down right away because there was going to be no chance that I spooked it. The Star of the East Flake, that's what I'm going to be smoking here in a little bit. I've never tried it. Beans, Brian Dorn, said that he thinks that it's the closest blend that he's had to Penzance that isn't Penzance. My dad, I told him what Beans has said, and he thinks that Quiet Nights is the closest to Penzance. That Star of the East Flake is somewhere in there, but he thinks Quiet Nights is just a bit closer. Personally, I've only tried Penzance twice, 2 or 3 times. The first time I really liked it, and the second time was indifferent. I didn't really care too much for it. But since I had never had Star of the East Flake and everybody was talking about it, I figured I'd go ahead and pick up a tin of it and at least give it a try and see what I think. But before I get into those two, Brian Doran did probably the coolest thing that I think anybody has done and ever will do within the pipe community to me. As soon as we got there to the Moundsville meetup, he was already there. We knew he was going to be there. When we walked in, the first thing he said to me was, "I have something for you." And not expecting anything, it caught me by surprise, and I was very interested in what he may have. In Columbus, and I don't know if he's aware of this, I might have told him, I might have said something in a previous video, I'm not sure. But when we were in Columbus, I came across a tin, a 100-gram tin of Frogmorton Cellar for $150. And I came this close to buying it. Like 2-3 weeks prior, me, my dad, and Scripto, we met up down at Moundsville, the Living My Best Cigar Life where the pipe meetup was. And we spent the afternoon down there, and on the ride back up, me and my dad talked about Frogmorton Cellar. For a while now, he's raved that it's one of the best blends that he's ever had, but he only has a little bit left because they obviously discontinued it many years ago. So he's been hesitant to let me try it. Well, on the way up that day, back from Moundsville, he decided that when we got back to his house, he was going to let me try some of it. And since then, I've kind of been craving it. Kind of been wanting to get some, kind of just to have the novelty of having a discontinued blend, but also to know that if I wanted to, smoke a bowl of it, I had that luxury to smoke a bowl of a very good tobacco blend. Well, like I said, I came this close to buying it in Columbus. John and my dad talked me out of it, so I didn't leave with one. But Brian Doran, being as cool as he is, I guess he had some to spare, and he decided he was going to give me an unopened tin. I'll crack the lid here so you can see it, if I can get it open. Holy cow. An unopened tin of Frogmorton Cellar, which is the coolest thing I think anybody has done and ever will do for me in the pipe community. So that's pretty freaking cool. I'm very grateful that Brian gave me this tin. I've thanked him probably 10 times now. The generosity within this pipe community really is extraordinary. John and my dad have given me tons of different things now. Brian's given me some stuff at the pipe shows. We've all passed some blends around and tried a whole bunch of different things. The same thing happened in Moundsville. It's just a group of really generous, grateful people. We're all very grateful to have one another to be able to smoke with and try new things with, and that I think is just incredible. At the meetup, as I said, there was a Cornell and Deal rep there, and there were a couple other guys that I had never met, but was really glad to be able to sit down there and just listen to everybody talk, listen to everybody trade stories, and tell different funny jokes, and just sit in a room with a bunch of different guys, different ages, from different places, just sit there and enjoy different tobaccos with them. It was truly incredible. I can't wait for the next one, although it's about a 2.5 hour drive from me to where I met Scripto. I rode with Scripto to Moundsville. It's about a 2.5 hour drive for me to get down there, so it's a bit of a haul, but for that group just to get together, you really can't beat it. And up here where I'm at, the only other person I have that really smokes a pipe that I can get with often is my dad. There are other people up here that I'm aware of that smoke, but with scheduling and all that, it's so difficult to even think about planning anything out. So, but the Moundsville meetup was really great. They talked a lot about the different Cornell and Deal blends, the merger of STG and Sutliff and Mac Baron or whatever's going on. They talked about that a good bit. Beans tried getting some answers for everybody, and he addressed it in his video that he uploaded yesterday. But it was truly a great time, and I'm really looking forward to the next time, and I hope the next time more people are able to go. The biggest reason why I wanted to go down was I knew Beans was going to be there, and I knew Scripto was going to be there. And that's a small portion of our Columbus group that we go, or that I've been both years. It's a small portion of them that have gone. I would really like to be able to see the other guys that are in our little Columbus pipe group. I'd like to be able to see those guys again here too. So hopefully the next one they do, they said they plan on doing it on a weekend. So it'll be really cool to be able to get together with those guys and just hang out in an atmosphere that's not the Columbus Pipe Show, where everybody's not pressured to spend, you know, a couple $100 on pipes and tobacco. So even though we all still pretty much left with a pipe or a ton of tobacco from the Moundsville thing, but I'd rather help out small business, small local businesses, maybe more to Beans and Scripto than to myself, but it's nice to help out a small business. And Tyler, the owner of Living My Best Cigar Life, he's a great guy. He's a really cool dude, so helping him out and kind of helping build a nice little reputation down there in Moundsville, and hopefully eventually the wheeling store that they open up as well. You know, I'd rather do that than spend all that money at the pipe shows. But it was a great time. I'm going to light this bowl. I think I'm going to just smoke it for a little bit, let you guys watch the lake, and maybe give my thoughts on it, on what I think off the first couple puffs, and then I'm just going to end the video there. I don't really have much more to talk about other than that, but I wanted to recap the pipe show just a little bit down there in Moundsville and show off these blends, talk about them a little bit, and really talk about that tin of Frogmorton Cellar, because I'm pretty excited about that. Now, I will say with the Frogmorton Cellar, part of me, like I said, wants to open it, part of me doesn't want to open it. Whenever I tried the blend with my dad coming up from Moundsville, that was the same day that Trump got shot in Butler. So there's a little bit of me that's a little superstitious that if I crack that tin and smoke a bowl, something bad might happen to the president-elect. And I don't want that to happen, so obviously I'm just joking around, but eventually I'm going to crack this tin open, I'm going to smoke it, and I think the first bowl of it I smoke, I'm going to have to record a video and, you know, just tell a story or something like that. So I'm going to light this pipe, going to look at the lake for a little bit, you guys can with me too. Give some thoughts, and then I'll cut the video there. Yeah, it does taste like Penzance. I've never had Quiet Nights, so I don't know if that's closer, but this is pretty similar to Penzance, just off first light. Yeah, this is very similar to Penzance. And I'd almost even say that I like this better than Penzance. Now, a lot of pipe smokers talk about the retrohale. Me, my dad, and Scripta have talked about this, and we've laughed about it quite a bit. I do not know how to retrohale. I cannot retrohale. So, I can't give you any sort of answers on how that works, or how it works with the retrohale, how it smells, how it tastes, whatever you get out of that. I can't do it, so I can't help you with that. But this is very good. This is a very good blend. Very, very similar to Penzance. Now I guess I'll have to try Quiet Nights. and see if I think it's closer. I think I still have a little bit of Penzance that my dad had given me like last Thanksgiving. I have an old Polaroid camera that my grandpa gave me that he bought. He bought early 80s, I think he told me. But they sell the film for it, or whatever it is. They sell it at Walmart still. So I picked up a pack of it around Thanksgiving last year, and my dad brought that Penzance over, and I have a Polaroid picture of me and him sitting at our one coffee table, smoking a pipe together, smoking Penzance together. So that's a picture that I'll have to break out and take a picture of and upload it to Instagram, or maybe I'll put it in this video here so you guys can see it. It's a pretty cool picture. I talk too much. Like I said earlier about the Cornell and Deal blends having a very distinct taste, this one, now I guess it could just be because it's in my head, but this one, if I did a blind taste test, having tried Penzance before, I think I would guess that this was Penzance, to be quite honest. Like, I don't think I would guess that this is... I don't think I would guess that this is like... I don't know if Star of the East Flake is meant to be a remake of Penzance or not, but I would guess that this was Penzance instead of something different. Now, I find it very interesting that my dad thinks that Quiet Nights is more like it. I'll have to steal some of his Quiet Nights and give it a try. Because this is exactly how I remember Penzance tasting and smoking. Very neat. Well, like I said, I was going to take a couple puffs and then end the video, so I don't really have anything else to talk about other than just how the pipe's smoking and how it tastes, which I think I've covered pretty well. So we'll see you guys later. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever. I appreciate you guys watching this. Take care.